Life expectancy at birth is one of the most important demographic indicators. It shows the number of years a newborn infant would live, assuming that birth and death rates will remain at the same level during the whole lifetime. A population's overall mortality rate is reflected in its life expectancy at birth. It's a rough estimate of how long the average individual can hope to live. Gender, genetics, hygiene, diet and exercise, access to quality healthcare, lifestyle and culture, and crime rates all have a role in life expectancy. Longevity appears to be influenced by both genetics and one's way of life, according to research. As a result, the life expectancies of countries around the world differ. Male life expectancy at birth. In 2020, male life expectancy at birth for Philippines was 67.39 years. Male life expectancy at birth of Philippines increased from 60.75 years in 1971 to 67.39 years in 2020, growing at an average annual rate of 0.21%. In 2021, male life expectancy in the Philippines was 71.41 years, a 0.18% increase from 2020. In 2022, the current male life expectancy in the Philippines is 71.53 years, a 0.18% increase from 2021.
Female life expectancy at birth. In 2020, female life expectancy at birth for Philippines was 75.62 years. Female life expectancy at birth of Philippines increased from 65.77 years in 1971 to 75.62 years in 2020, growing at an average annual rate of 0.29%. In 2021, female life expectancy at birth for Philippines was 75.51 years. The current life expectancy for female in the Philippines is 74.7 years.
Fertility and birth rate. Birth rate is number of live birth for thousands of population for years. In the year 2020, the birth rate was 1,528,684. That is equal to 14 out of 1,000. Therefore, there were 14 births per thousand populations. The male has a percentage of 52.1 and the female has 47.9%. More males were born than females. Based on the chart in figure 2, more males, which is 796,543 or 52.1% were born than females, which is 732,141 or 47.9%, resulting in a sex ratio at birth of 109 males for 100 females.
Fertility rate. What is fertility rate? Total fertility rate represents the number of the children that would be born to a woman if she were to live to the end of her childbearing years and bear children in accordance with current age-specific fertility rates. In 2020, fertility rate for the Philippines was 2.5 births per woman. In 2021, according to the preliminary data released by PSA last February 22, 2022, birth rate 1,237,748 or 11 to 1,000 or 11 per 1,000. Male 645,578 or 52.2%. Female 592,170 or 47.8%. According to UN Population Division World Population Prospects 2019, the Philippines fertility rate will be around 2.8 births per woman. In 2022, source UN Population Division World Prospects 2019, birth rate 21 birth per 1,000, fertility rate 2.4 births per woman.
Death rate. is the average annual number of deaths during a year per 1,000 population at mid-year, also known as crude death rate. This indicator is significantly affected by age distribution in most countries will eventually show a rise in the overall death rate in spite of continued mortality decline at all ages as declining fertility results in an aging population. In 2020, a total of 613,936 deaths were registered in the Philippines, a decline of -1.0%. This is equivalent to a crude death rate of 5.6 or about 6 deaths per 1,000 population in 2020. This corresponds to an average of 1,677 deaths per day, which translate to 70 deaths per hour or 1.2 deaths per minute. In 2021, POPCOM, citing the Philippine Statistics Authority or the PSA, said in its report that the country's mortality rate in the first 11 months of 2021 is at 6.98 per 1,000 Filipinos, an average of 25%. Ischemic heart disease was responsible for 110,332 deaths until October 2021, up from 86,164 the previous year. COVID-19 was another underlying cause of death for 75,285 Filipinos, a higher than 30,140 deaths from the same cause from March to December 2020. As of 30 January 2022, a total of 53,891 or 1.6% deaths had been recorded in the Philippines. Infant mortality rate. Infant mortality is the death of young children under the age of this death toll as measured by the infant mortality rate or the IMR, which is the probability of deaths of children under 1 year of age per 1,000 live births. The under 5 mortality rate, which is referred to as the child mortality rate, is also an important statistics considering the infant mortality rate focuses only on children under 1 year of age.
In 2020, infant mortality rate for Philippines was 18.42 deaths per 1,000 live births. Infant mortality rate of Philippines fell gradually from 55.08 deaths per 1,000 live births in 1971 to 18.42 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2020. The infant mortality rate for Philippines in 2021 was 18.392 deaths per 1,000 live births, a 2.25% decline from 2020. The current infant mortality rate for Philippines in 2022 is 17.968 deaths per 1,000 live births, a 2.31% decline from 2021.